Hello. So in my last video, I talked about how I've been chronically single for 34 years and never been in a relationship. I did get a few comments talking about how I could improve my looks. I am no stranger to being a babe, guys. I am not a stranger to being a babe. I can pull out my babe card if I wanted to. Look, this was literally me last weekend. I was giving model. So I do know how to look put together. So all the advice about what to wear, somebody said I should get contact lenses, guys. I have been a contact lens wearer since I was 13. But money has been a bit tight this year. I lost my job. And honestly, once I lost my job, I lost my mojo. And I've literally just spent the last year trying to survive. And I quite frankly didn't have enough to give to my self-care. The best I could do was still invest in my skincare. Makeup, fashion, beauty was all down the drain. Didn't also help because I was working remotely and I'm also a homebody. Like I'm a perpetual stay-at-homer. So my fashion and beauty just was neglected. But going into the next half of this year is something I primarily want to focus on. And then the sun is out as well, guys. It's summertime in Canada. So I am looking forward to that summertime glow. And yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the hardest parts of being single, of being a perpetual aromantic. I'm not aromantic, but of being a perpetual single babe. I'm probably going to start off light and go a bit deeper into it. In the process of doing that, I got to do my laundry. My laundry is shared laundry, so I came all the way downstairs only to find out that somebody else is using it. That sucks. This is one of my big goals, is to have in-unit washer dryer, because I don't like when I'm ready to do laundry, because I hate doing laundry when I'm prepared to do my laundry and it's in use. Like, it's not even in use, like the stuff is still in it. You know, they just haven't transferred it from the dryer, from the washer to the dryer. It is actually a step up from going to a laundromat. We're gonna take our blessings when we can. So I'll come back after and back to the video. Guys, you see me? I'm a baby girl that has had no choice to be a strong, independent Black woman. Holy, living alone and being someone that has always been by herself, you would learn how to do a number of things. Guys, I had to get a drill. There's no IKEA furniture I can build alone at this point. I have built a bed by myself. I've built a TV stand by myself. I remember one time recently, I was ranting to my sister because I had guests coming over. My curtains decided to fall that day. And my sister was on the phone and I'm like, Anna, you're so lucky you have a husband. Because I'm having a movie night and the curtains have fallen and now I have to run down to Home Hardware to bloody well figure out how to make this work, and I have to cook and I have to do this and I have to do this and there's nobody to help me. So I was literally like losing my mind because there was so much pressure to be, to perform. So I was just like, God, I wish I had a man right now to just figure out these curtains. The curtains ended up not working, and thank goodness one of my male friends did come to drop off something. So I did ask him to help me fix the curtains temporarily. So I've just been acclimatized to doing everything myself. Like, my tires need to be changed. I have to buy the tires on Facebook Marketplace. I have to find the rims. I have to go out and talk to the mechanic to fix it. So I wish the gender task assigned to men, I sort of wish I had a man for that. But in any case, I've been able to successfully do it myself. So in speaking of finances, of course, that's going to be the first one because I just spoke about how I was unemployed. If I had a partner to share the burden of domestic expenses with, I would have a lot of savings. I would have a lot more rich in terms of what I have in my savings, my retirement plan, emergency fund. I really had to dip into the very few limited savings that I had. I had to dip into my pension just to even keep paying my rent. It's been tough financially. I've lost all my benefits, so I didn't have any dental plan. I've been meaning to change my glasses. If he had or they had benefits, I would have been a co-benefit person, a co-dependent, on their policy. Even little things like my laptop got broken. I have to buy that myself. My phone got broken. I have to buy that myself. Whatever investment I needed to make into my business and into my life, I've always had to be the one to invest in it. So you don't have that kind of financial support. And that can be a bit hard. I'm not even gonna lie. It can be a bit hard sometimes because when I see my sister getting things done for her by her husband, I'm like, damn it. I'm not jealous, obviously. She's my lovely sister. I'm just like, I wish I had that. I wish my phone could spoil today and my partner would be like, hey, I got you a phone for your birthday. But I've never had anybody spend much on me. And it's not even about the spending, it's about the thought behind. It's about just easing your burden a little bit. And even in evolving my business, the couples I envy creative couples that have a creative vision individually and come together and create more beauty. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm like, that is what I want. That's who I want. Somebody will brainstorm. He would have the camera. I'm doing the work. We're like, exchanging ideas. I love seeing a couple unite for creative work. Oh, see, I literally had an orgasm right there. So many businesses that have just left to the wayside because it's typically just me, no motivation, no reassurances, no help, no let me go pick up the butter. I'm a baker. My content creation business, it was incredibly difficult. I'm the entire producer, director, everything of my life, Nobody else to delegate life with. It does get a little bit hard. You have to prepare your mind and yourself that you're going to lose some friends as they evolve in their relationships. As they get married, they move farther away, they start to have kids. It was a little difficult for me because these were people that I spent most of my 20s with, my early 20s, and I was very excited to be in their space. And then you start to see how your path has started to branch out. And at some point, it just becomes too late to, reunite again. There are some connections that you did really value, but now you're just in two different phases of life, and you do have to appreciate that now they're focused on other things. One time I had a friend say that they couldn't be friends anymore because now they're not on the same wavelength. And I'm thinking that's a wild thing to say to someone. Why don't you just let the natural process of deterioration happen? Why do you have to deteriorate it intentionally? So they move farther away. Your circle starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And as you get older, a lot of people are in that same bracket. They're married with kids and they live in the suburbs. So if you don't intentionally go out of your way to make new friends or also intentionally retain those friendships of the married couple, you might end up losing it. So you as the single friend has to do more work to say, hey, I want to be in your life. I didn't know that. I just thought I would always be available for you if you needed me. But they have other priorities. They have their husband, they have their kids, they have their mortgages. So they're not necessarily dependent on you to fill their social circle because their social circle or their domestic circle, their social circle is being filled up by their familiar relationships. So you as the single friend has to initiate most of the hangouts. You have to initiate, I'm going to come to you as opposed to you coming to me. And if you don't take that initiative, which is something that I'm not someone that likes to impose myself on people. I always thought if you need me, you let me know. If you want me to come visit, you let me know. And so, but when people get married or when they start to see a partner or are in a relationship, they don't reach out as much. But if you do want to retain that relationship, the expectation or the burden falls on you to always be the one to reach out, to initiate, to plan, to be available. And if you're not that type of person, I'm sorry, you probably would lose that friendship. So I did have to let go of a couple friends because they were no longer in my periphery. I didn't have the capacity to go out of my way. I didn't have a car. It was inconvenient to go to the suburb because it's like 2-3 hours away. And I'm not one to be on my phone typically. So that relationship naturally dissolved. And there's no hard feelings. It's what it is. It's life. But it's just understanding that that's going to happen. People think that being horny is in your 20s. Lies! I don't even think that was much of a thing. Then I was just like, I could hold my buddy. I could blah, blah, blah. In your 30s, oh my God. In your mid-30s, it's like your hormones are like raging. It's like your eggs know, hey, you're running out of time. So the hormones are like hitting you a lot harder to be like, listen, you need to get out there now. And so, nobody tells you that your 30s are peak times for coitus. Coitus, that's such a funny word. And there are things you can do to ease the discomfort a bit, to please yourself. But the thing I miss the most, honestly, is that sense of intimacy and also the the weight of somebody else, like intimacy that comes with that performance of like love and lust. Sometimes it's not even just about sex, it's about just that deep, vulnerable connectedness that you can feel with somebody else that I genuinely miss. And even just being held. I remember when I was 21, I lost my dad. And when the news was broken to me, particularly like at night when I was alone, I just wanted to be held. Like I just wanted somebody to just like wrap me up in their hands and just tell me everything is gonna be okay. But I didn't have that. And my family is not like a touchy-feely family. Like the type of hugging is not the type of hug that you want like your brother can do for you. At the time, it's just me and my two brothers, my two younger brothers. Like the least you could do is just give them like a brotherly hug. But like, like when you just cradle somebody in your arms, like you're like, I am you, I'm your person. I genuinely miss that feeling of just being comforted, being wrapped up in somebody's arms. And I just like, God, I wish I had that deep sense of affection and somebody had that deep sense of affection for me where I can believe that everything is going to be okay in this moment. But it was something that I didn't have. So when I started to see people again, shortly after losing my dad, I was very like free with telling people that I had just lost my dad because I think I was yearning or looking for empathy. Definitely that was the wrongest thing to do because you clearly haven't healed, so don't be going out there to date. So I was really looking for someone to be like, oh, I've got you. And also to that regard, I've also had a feeling that I know me to a core. I know me in my solitude. I know me in my silence. I know me in my being of how I move around the world by myself. But I also recognize that I haven't met all of me because it takes a certain person to reveal all of you to you. And that is someone you share a deep, intimate connection with. Whether it comes from, I'm talking from a romantic lens, obviously you can get this from a friendship, but it takes a certain level of deep intimacy and deep connection that will reveal all of you to you. Now somebody has to bring that out. And I feel like I haven't met all of who or all versions of who I am because I have never been in a romantic situation where I have been deeply vulnerable, like the example I gave with losing my dad and having to pack it into somebody and say, here, help me carry this weight of the world because I can't do it alone. I haven't had that chance. So I don't know how I would perform when I've met that person. Like a relationship shows you all aspects of humanity. I've never been heartbroken. Not that I wish heartbreak on myself, but I don't know what I would be like if I got heartbroken, Like if a guy doesn't fancy me that I fancy, I'm like, okay, next, okay, we're back to square one. I don't have any scars of humanity, of like love and loss, like other than familiar love and stuff, but like romantic love is like, okay, next. People don't really perceive you as an adult because you don't have the markers of what adulthood is. You don't have kids, you don't have a mortgage, you don't have a husband. So there's a certain level of, I don't want to say disrespect, but they don't necessarily respect your time or your space as much as they would for someone that's married. It's something that I have come to realize that there's a difference in how they perceive my space and how they perceive my sister's space. My sister's space is her and her husband and her kids, but Chisholm's space is everybody's. Oh, I have a guest coming. They stay in Chisholm's room. I don't mean to shade my mom, right? But it's a societal thing, especially like a Nigerian societal thing, that if you're not a married woman, you literally have no excuse to why you cannot drop everything and be there when I need you or when your parent needs you. You become the sole caregiver of your parents. Again, not that I'm complaining, but it is just what it is, right? There is no sense of respect for time or place or space because you're single, But if there was like a marriage or a man or like my room is the room of me and my husband, there will be a sense of respect. You will just not open the door and go in, You'll be like, okay, let me knock before I enter. Let me see if she's available at this time. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching my video. I wouldn't mind you subscribing because I'm trying to get monetized this year. I am starting a group for women or people, but particularly women because I love women. I'm a girl's girl. Particularly people that are late bloomers and taking steps to improve their life. I'm in the process of improving my life as well. Since getting laid off, I've just been helter-skelter, very disorganized and I want to really back in and improve my stakes in life, please join my Discord group. We're going to be meeting every week. We'll be talking about steps to take, and it's going to be baby steps, like the first program or that I did with my sisters was to lay your bed every morning. And it's just to take one control of your day. Lay your bed and know that you control that. You forced yourself into doing it if it's not something that you would typically do. And every week we're going to stack it. Next week is to drink water. So it's going to be easy, achievable steps so that you can get little wins for the day. And then we'll progressively increase the level of difficulty so that eventually become full-rounded, organized type A. Type A with a bit of flexibility beans. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the perks. The perks of being a single woman in your 30s and child-free. Oh my God. So I'm going to talk about that one. But if you do have if you want to put down your hardest part about being single in your 30s or whatever age that you are, feel free to leave a comment. I love reading your stories. Oh my God. It fills my heart when I see people resonate in my post. I'm like, you took time out of your day to write like 3 paragraphs of response to my video. I love it. I think I'm talking too much now, so I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go do my laundry and take care of my room, edit this video, and I'll see you either this week or next week. Next week probably, but yeah. Bye. So before I go to bed, I just caught myself doing something. It was me ruminating again about the people I had dated prior in my 20s. This is a moment of, I wonder what they're up to now, which, pro tip, never, ever go in search of looking for it. So one of the guys that I went on a multiple dates with and spoke for a decent amount of time wasn't looking for anything serious. I just found out that he got married. And the first guy that I liked, I ran into him like a year after and we were talking and stuff. This was someone that said that he wasn't emotionally available when he was dating me, so he couldn't commit to a relationship. And I asked him if he was still living with his cousin, and he said, oh, I'm moving in with my girlfriend. So I'm like, damn, like, what was wrong with me? One of the hard things about having to deal with that, seeing them move on with other partners and other women, or it's just like, why not me? What was the issue with me? I mean, you can sort of gauge what it was, like if you look back and track the interaction, which, I mean, you can't even figure out why it wasn't you, It's always like, he's not just that into you type thing. But yeah, it's just, I don't recommend going to do a weird day now. But sometimes when you just haven't been on a date for so long, I haven't gone on a date since, it's been over a year actually. So it's just like you start to build castles in the air. But yeah, that's a hard one. It's like you meet somebody, you fancy them, and it doesn't work out, but then they meet the next person and it works out with them and they get thing that you've wanted for so long. Another thing is male friends. In losing male friends, I've had situations where I'm friends with a guy, he gets married and his wife doesn't like me. So naturally that friendship or that relationship is lost because for whatever reason the wife, I mean, that could be a whole other video about how I lost one of my very, very good friends. He was a guy and I saw him more as a big brother than a friend, more so than a friend, but he was really my person. But yeah, the wife wasn't a big fan of me because she thought there was something between us, which quite frankly there was nothing. I usually start to withdraw from male friends when they get married because of my experience, So if I'm not friendly with the wife, or if the wife doesn't take a liking to me, I back out of that relationship, of that friendship. So anyway, that's my spiel for the night. I was about to go to bed and I caught myself in a moment of rumination, so I thought to share that with you. And have a good night.